Good morning. No trades for me today or yesterday, really. Any day trades, I should say. Yesterday, we didn't see too much. We saw LDTC have a nice pre-market move in the morning, straight up, and then kind of had a pretty strong close. And then we had GXAI, which is now continuing to have a massive run day 3 here. And then QSI continue its run as well. And then we had a couple of Chinese stickers. So, really for me, the only focus from yesterday was AI and quantum. So I was kind of going through the AI and quantum plays. A lot of them are kind of overextended at this point on the daily chart. So, but they keep on running. So it's kind of tough for me because I don't really know how to attack them at this point, right? I can't really buy at 52-week highs, I don't think. But so I'm going through like the list of like all the tickers that we had on the sector watch lists, trying to look at ones that like haven't ran yet, that look good on dilution tracker, that look good on the daily chart. And I kind of stumbled upon AXTI. This is the weekly chart. And I just liked how it kind of gapped up above this support line here. It doesn't look as clear on the weekly, but on the daily. So I bought here. And I bought here because I just liked the way it gapped up above this support line here. And so I really liked how it looked in the daily chart. It looked good on dilution tracker. It has ran in the past. It has gapped up in the past on big volume. So it has the ability to gap up. It has kind of this AI in its ticker name. I don't know if that's a thing, but it just seems like a thing. BBAI, GXAI, literally the ticker AI itself, IDAI. Something about like with the ticker and kind of like quantum too. QUBT, QBTS, QSI, QMMM. So these tickers that kind of have like the sector in their ticker name. So this one's kind of close, AXTI. Again, that just is kind of a theory. I don't even know if that's true. So, but primarily it was the way it looked in the daily chart, on the weekly chart, the fact that it has ran in the past, the fact that it looks decent on dilution tracker. So then I also got into FCUF for the same reasons. I like how it's just essentially it's making a higher low on the daily chart, consolidating at the support level. This one even looks better on the weekly chart, I think. So it has ran in the past. It's kind of making a higher low, consolidating on the weekly chart. Looks on dilution tracker. And yeah, the only problem is though, is these have super low volume. And I've been kind of stuck in this before where like I'll buy, I'm trying to play like sympathy or sector momentum. And then I get a little too deep and I buy these things just low volume randomness is the best way I could describe it. So I'm kind of hoping I'm not in that situation again. But I'm not but a sector that's high right now, and I feel like that's the biggest thing that's happening right now. But if we go on to today, we see, like I said, we see GXAI having a massive run. Let's just pop over to quantum for a second. Yeah, we have RGTI that dropped a PR and is breaking new highs. I just showed that. And we have a couple others on low volume that are moving. So those two sectors, in my opinion, are the biggest things that are happening right now. And I've been talking about the past few days, like I just want to hyper focus on whatever is in play right now. So AXTI and FCUF were my ways of trying to attack that. The other thing that we kind of been seeing is reverse splits. I talked about my ADD fiasco a couple of days ago. And then we had a couple of runners this morning, PBM, super quick spike after a PR and then crash. CDIO has a pending split, but has been on this massive multi-day run. Right here, it announced that it was non-compliant with NASDAQ, spiked, dipped, and then held support, and then has been ripping ever since. JTAI, this one had no PR, but spiked, fell all the way back down to support, and then ripped again, kind of this end pattern. ELAB, which has kind of been on a multi-day run, it like dropped a PR here, spiked, and then has been on this consolidation, but dropped another PR yesterday, and then is spiking right now. And then I just said PBM, right? PBM with a spike and crash. And then, I mean, last week we had ADD, spike and crash, UPC, spike, actually did dip and have some extra extension, BJDX spike, and there were a couple of others, I believe. But reverse splits have been kind of in play. But as far as the ones that happened today, I don't really see too much commonality between them other than biotechs. So CDIO, which hasn't split yet. So I don't even really want to hold it overnight because when they announce the split, it's going to dump. But CDIO, ELAB, and PBM are biotechs. We saw Roland this morning talk about biotechs. I feel like I've been seeing that too. Biotechs have been running. So the only one, and then we kind of been seeing price ranges around the $2 mark, $2 to $3 mark. So really the only one that kind of fit the bill for me kind of was SLXN. It spiked previously, it dipped, and that's kind of a theme that I'm trying to see if makes sense of like which, you know, seeing if they, for me, I feel like you either have to get in before the PR or get in after the PR when it falls all the way back down to support. I'm not trying to like buy it right after the PR drops, and I just feel like these spikes are way too quick for that. So with ADD, I got in, technically I got in after the PR, but I think it was a little bit different because it happened after hours and then it dipped as well. And then I really should have got in on that dip. That's actually another confirmation, is I should just be getting it after the PR on the dip if that's available. But yeah, SLXN, it's a biotech. It's in the price range. It did PR recently, which I don't know if I like or don't like. I think right now I do like, because that's kind of what we're seeing. Like ELAB drops some PRs. JTI has bounced multiple times on PRs, PBM as well. So, and now it's consolidating at this kind of whole level mark, 250. It's a biotech, obviously low float. Yeah, obviously low float. So that's the only one I really have on my watch. And I mean, I don't really see any other kind of trends right now. We see CMRX with this nice reversal. You know, for me, you know, as a bigger flow, I just really didn't like this pre-market action of pretty much straight up, then kind of this weird, I like this W shape, but the support level, I don't know. I just did like the pre-market action. And for me, I wanted it to fall down here. I just wasn't going to play that. And then CPIX. I'm not buying faders anymore. I've talked about that in my past few videos, and essentially this is a fader to me, something that is overextended pre-market, is just slow on the tape all day. Now it's 11:30. If anything, the bounce was maybe happening around here, 10:30. I told myself I'm not going to buy anything at 10:30 right now. This is the support line I wanted, but I wanted it to fall to pre-market. It never did. And that's kind of something to note too, as I feel like the past couple of days, today's Tuesday, Monday, and then Friday, we really haven't seen these kind of pre-market reversals that we've been seeing. So I've been sitting on my hands for those. And that's really it. I mean, so I don't really see any kind of overall themes or trends right now other than the AI and quantum sector, right? I don't really see a price range theme right now. LDTC went from like 30 cents to $1.70 yesterday. This is 80 cents. CIX is $1.20. BNZI was another one, $1.20, and maybe $1.20. Right. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really see too much commonality. And yeah, that's it. Now there was another reverse split play, which I'm on the fence about because it just split right here. And we really haven't been seeing a lot of splits spike shortly after their split. It's been like a lot of days between at least 7 to 12 or something like that. So this one just split, but they PR'd this morning about Bitcoin. So I'm like, ooh. And this is right after PBM this morning spiked. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to buy this. And I mean, just look at this 15-minute candle. It's crazy. But then this happened, and I'm like, well, right? Do I get in on this dip? But I just want it to fade some more because look at this. Like, you just never, I don't know. You don't know how much this is going to fade. So I like the reverse splits. I mean, like JTI, right? It's at its lows, it's curling up, right? It's another thing why I like SLXN, right? It's near its lows, it's basing. So, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do anything with AGRI. That's it to me. Like I said, I don't see any other themes. The biggest themes to me right now are AI and quantum and reverse splits. I mean, that's kind of, and the reverse splits even kind of seem to, there seems to be some holes in them. I don't really see any. When I bought ADD, the theme at that time, literally just last week, was we saw a specific price range, the 2 to 8 theme, right? From last week, the 2 to 8 theme. So we saw that in the reverse splits, and then we saw the reverse splits plays specifically drop a PR about NASDAQ regaining NASDAQ compliance in after hours and then dropping the next morning. So it was like really specific. So then ADD did that exact same thing. It was the price range, drop the PR in after hours, easy peasy. Right now, I don't really see too many commonalities with these reverse splits other than, I mean, I guess that's biotechs, I guess. And I would say that it seems like the ones that are working, they drop a PR, they fall, and then maybe you could get some opportunity on the dip. But at the same time, I mean, PBM didn't provide you that opportunity. So it's kind of tough. That's why I feel like the best opportunity is getting in before the PR. Like, that's, in my opinion, the best opportunity is you get in before the PR and you go from there. And I'll probably take a stab at SLXN. But yeah, other than that, I forgot to mention my risk if it wasn't obvious on my 2 swings. FCUF, essentially just using the support level on the weekly. So probably the low of this candle, which is a little big, or maybe no, probably the low of this candle. 23, yeah, 23 is what I used. I'm in at like 25 and a half. And then for AXTI, I really am trying to use this support line. That's kind of 220. We'll see how it closes. It's at 219 right now. I don't know if I should maybe use close of this or something like this, maybe. But I'm going to be patient because I really like the way it looks on the chart. And that is it. Right now, honestly, GXAI is probably the hottest stock, just as far as what it's currently doing. And to me, that just shows again that the theme is AI. The theme is AI. And I bought this right here. I wouldn't have held, but, and then when it's on day 3, I'm not going to buy it. But yeah, this just shows to me that quantum and AI are where it's at right now. And yeah, that's it. Those in reverse splits. That's all.